everybody on YouTube, this is the EpicGamingGuru, and this time we're going to be talking about Hunt Showdown at least one last time for the sake of this video, because this one has been due for months at a time and I never actually got the chance to talk about the subject at hand. And to be fair, it really does need to be talked about here, because there have been moments where I've noticed that a lot of people were wondering why I was starting to play more of Hunt Showdown versus every other game tile. So for all sake and due for all that of an explanation, let me go ahead and break it all down for you in one single video. Out of all games that I talked about on my channel, I believe that Hunt Showdown happens to be the one that I've managed to talk about the most. Not only was there 3 videos all orientated about the same thing of the subject of Hunt Showdown, but it was also a lot of videos explaining the major problems and actual issues that Hunt Showdown has had over the years. Not only was Hunt Showdown unplayable during that time, but it was some of the most horrid gaming experiences I've ever had in a video game. Like, I have to be honest, Hunt Showdown was virtually unplayable at one point. It was so bad and so unbelievably horribly structured when it came to balancing of weapons. The game was just virtually unfun. You could not play a single match without being devastated by certain ammo types, and that really made the game unfair and horribly unbalanced. The game was so horridly unbalanced at one point that everybody was just running long ammo for the longest period of time. You wouldn't be able to go into a single match without at least about 80% of the lobby running nothing but long ammo. Long ammo was so common and abundant, especially to players who never decided to go ahead and prestige in the game, so it ended up just being one of the main valued and used assets of ammo in the entire game. And back then, long ammo was way more common to get compared to any other ammunition type, and you could get a ton of it from an ammo box. But that's where I'm going to talk about all the good things coming up with this game, so sit tight and relax, because this is a long discussion and boy does it get crazy. Hunt Showdown has had some of the most major changes that I've ever seen in any video game to date. Not only did they change how the game works structurally, but they decided to go ahead and just balance everything out so the entire player base could feel like everything is in more balanced shape. Although debatably the way they decided to fix this is questionable, but despite that, they at least managed to get every single form of ammo type to become useful in the game. No form of ammo type is now completely useless in this game. Every single form of ammo type can be now structured with a form of special ammo to make it much more usable and versatile versus how it used to originally be. And one of the most shocking changes that I never thought that I would see in Hunt Showdown is to be able to use any form of weapon regardless of what type of gun, caliber, or whatever it has to be, can now be used by whatever player as long as you have the hunt coins to be able to afford it. Every single base form of a weapon is now usable by every single player. When that was announced, I almost shit a brick. My fucking shit almost turned into a mountain and made me crash through the goddamn ceiling. That was one major change that Hunt Showdown has needed for years, and they finally decided to bring it in, and let me tell you, the whole entire community rejoiced and probably couldn't believe their own eyes either. Probably didn't shit themselves all the way to the point where they formed a mountain and crashed right through their ceiling, right? But somebody out there probably has. One big major problem that Hunt Showdown also had in the past was the huge abundance of cheaters and bugs and glitches. All of this has been in fact worked out in Hunt Showdown. I have yet to run into a single game, except for maybe just one, where I haven't even ran into cheaters. I just ran into simple packet loss issues. All I had to do was just leave the match, extract on boat as normal, and then just come right back into a different match and the packet loss problem goes away. Usually this happens because somebody's running the game on some sort of like PC way out compared to where you're normally supposed to be in the server, but you could just immediately leave the match and then go back to a match that isn't having a packet loss issue. And most of the time when it comes to packet loss now, it's very unlikely that you'll ever run into a match that has one. I have yet to run into matches frequently where this has happened before. In the past, this used to be just a consistent thing, but with these huge major amount of updates and fixes that they've added recently, I could definitely see what they meant when they told me that Hunt Showdown is in a much better playable state. Another very important key feature that I forgot to mention that was added in Hunt Showdown is the way challenges work now. Challenges are now much more consistent with random weapon-based challenges versus how they used to be. Back in the day, it wouldn't really have mattered what weapon you were using as long as you get the challenge done. This would just be used certain weapons that have a certain ammo type like shotguns, rifles, and lever actions. This was actually a very common way to get these challenges done, and it was the main source of ways that people would get blood bonds before. Now people have to use very specific weapons weapons in order to get challenges done, which means it adds more diversity into the game based on the amount of random players using specific weapons. I have yet to run into lobbies where I saw the same consistent weapon type or ammo type throughout the entire match. So it's going to show that these challenges are actually making a huge difference in making sure that people are using a diverse set of weapons, including special ammo types, versus how it used to be. One massive improvement that I was actually very shocked about to see in Hunt Showdown, which even I couldn't believe my eyes, let alone my ears, because this was a huge massive problem back in the day, was the ability to finally be able to hear players properly. Not only did they solve the problem of players making absolutely no noise while running, walking, crouching, or anything. Literally, if there was any form of an explosion, fire, choke bomb that was miles away, you would not even be able to hear a single person crouching, walking, or running within near your facility. You can have an explosion that happened over 100 meters away, or a choke bomb that's less than 60 to 70 meters away. You would still not be able to hear a player. This was such a massive problem with audio that it made the game virtually impossible to play without hearing somebody choke spam or do a fire spam in order to make sure that players aren't able to hear you. The only problem with this is that not only was fires or choke bombs set up so far away that it didn't make sense for players not to be able to hear a single form of running, walking, or crouching, but it just made zero sense to the distance of which all these noises were coming from. So since then, Crytek has fixed that issue, and I have been noticing that I was able to hear players a lot more clearly than the way the game was before. It was one of the most major buggy problems that ruined Hunt for me. So to see that fixed really brought a tear into my eye, just to see Hunt Showdown finally in a much better playable state. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Hunt Showdown has been one of those games where I have been waiting for months, weeks, days, more than about nearly 2 years for this game to finally put itself in a playable state. And let me tell you, this game has gone through some massive improvements that I am honestly kind of shocked. This game deserves a medal for that. I honestly thought that Crytek was simply just going to abandon the Hunt Showdown project altogether, considering how many bugs, glitches, and problems this game has had. It's kind of honestly a shock to see a game that was in such a buggy mess get right back on its feet again and become a playable, enjoyable game once again. It's so rare to see that in any video game title nowadays, especially. Hunt Showdown was one of the games that I had the most longest amount of playtime that I've ever had compared to any other FPS, let alone game, in my entire Steam library. This is literally the hours that I've had playing Hunt Showdown. It's pretty crazy. The fact that this game already beat my hours for when it came to Warframe, which in itself is another amazing title, and I would highly recommend that one as well, is pretty crazy to say. I do believe that Hunt Showdown does have a chance to become something better as time passes by. This is definitely one of those type of games that I would recommend to anybody, especially in the playable state that it is now. It is just an unbelievable fun time of a game, and I honestly hope that Crytek just does everything they can to continuously improve this game, and I can't wait to see what else they bring into it. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope you all enjoyed this discussion that I had about Hunt Showdown. If you guys want to tell me in the comment section about what improvements that you loved and saw in Hunt Showdown as time went by, feel free to tell me that in the comment section. But hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video that much, and I hope to see you all in the next one. But either way, this is EpicGamingGuru, and I'm signing off.